All right, guys, welcome back to another episode on the Dynamic Lifestyle Podcast. You know what time it is? Solo round time, right, Chris?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
They're doing well. They're doing well. I could feel the energy. So, Chris, I like that hat, man. Where'd you get that hat?
So I got this hat over in some outlets over in Palm Springs. They got Adidas outlet out there, so got some pretty sweet stuff out there.
Did you get your big bro one?
I did it, man. I got a great one here though, so I mean, I can give you that, and then just shoot me a 20 on Venmo.
Selfish. See, guys, Chris doesn't even think about me. I would have gotten him something, but I'm just kidding, man. I'm just giving you a hard time on that. I like it though. I like it. I'm surprised you're not wearing the blue blockers as well too.
No, man. I mean, like if I'm gonna wear the hat, I'm not gonna wear the blue blockers, but if I got my hair done, I'll wear the blue blockers. And I can see you got your hair done, so that's why you're wearing the blue blockers. You see?
I do. It's because I'm going to go see you tomorrow. So for you
Right.
guys listening, I'm going to go visit Chris tomorrow in Los Angeles because it's our birthday on Friday, July 31st. So got to spend that birthday with the other twin.
Exactly. It's gonna be a good time. So by the time you guys listen to this, unfortunately, the birthday will be past. But guys, I mean, we're still accepting gifts. So if you guys want to send us gifts, by all means.
Exactly. All right, let's kick this off. They don't. The listeners don't want to hear no more of that.
All right, let's
But
do it.
let's kick this off. I'm excited about this episode today because we even did a poll on this. I did a poll on Instagram, Facebook, stories, the whole shebang. Because I want the listeners to get more involved into what topics they want to hear from us on these solo rounds, because we're trying to do more of these solo rounds, right? And we've been
Yeah.
getting some really good feedback, and it's great. So I think I did the poll on, the things that you should stop avoiding as a business owner. The other one was overcoming self-limiting beliefs. And then the other option was just personal updates and what we're doing going forward. So a lot of it was even. It was an even tie almost between this one about stop avoiding the things you should be doing as a business owner and the self-limiting beliefs. So it was like neck to neck, but we're going to go with the one that we just wanted to go with that got a little bit more of an edge, which was avoiding the many pitfalls of a personal trainer and 6 things you need to do as a business owner, right? So the things you should avoid doing, that you should be doing as a business owner. And we'll do the self-limiting beliefs one on the next one, because I know that's a really good topic and people want to hear that as well too. So
Exactly.
yeah, so let's kick this off, man. I mean, most importantly, I really want to do this. I was really looking forward to this particular topic just because, we've been in the trenches for 10 years as entrepreneurs, business owners. We're helping tons of fitness professionals, whether they're beginners, intermediate, or advanced, when it comes to, being business owners and entrepreneurs. And we've seen just a lot of different, characteristics between people, and certain things I noticed, is just little things that we did when we started off, right? Is just avoiding really crucial elements of your business, that you should be doing on a day-to-day basis, weekly basis, and just really perfecting and just making more into a system, right? Because the whole thing is to make your business into a well-oiled machine that is running efficiently.
Yeah. And I think like kind of how to put context on this episode is the title is avoiding the many pitfalls, right? So I think what the pitfalls are not only just personal trainers, but business owners in general. They focus too much on the low income, low impact activities,
Mhm.
right? As opposed to the high income, high impact activities. And we'll dig into that a little bit more. But just to give you an example of what I'm talking about is, instead of like working on a marketing plan or social media strategy, or even doing like a phone call to get somebody into your coaching program, people are over there worrying about making a picture on Canva or a YouTube thumbnail or something like that. You know what I mean? So do you see the difference between high income, high impact, and low income, low impact activities? So that's really what the pitfalls are. And basically, we're going to give you guys 6 ways on what we think are the things that you need to start doing to move the needle and the money needle going forward, in your business.
Yeah, I like that. So let's kick it off, man. What's the first one you
Yeah.
want to
So the
jump
very
into?
first, what's that?
I say, what's the first one you want to jump into?
Oh, okay. Couldn't hear you there. So the very first one is just knowing your numbers as a business owner. And I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like I still to this day am working on this. I think it's a skill. It really is, but it's something that it's so important. You hear this from every person, that whether they're at like the $1 million level, they're at the $1 billion level, whatever it is. Like I've heard this so many times from being in masterminds and stuff. Is like you need to know your numbers as a business owner. And the more and more I'm digging into it, I'm seeing why that is so crucial as a business owner, right? So for example, I don't want to give you guys too many different crazy things to focus on right now as knowing your numbers, because some of these things that are for people that are making like seven figures and like eight figures and stuff like that. So for us, we're going to be kind of keeping this context of people that are making six figures, mid six figures, and maybe they're on that cusp of going to seven, right? So some things that you need to keep track of as a business owner is a lot of stuff like with running ads, like are you keeping track of how much you're spending on your advertising budget every single week? Do you understand how much it is to acquire a new lead, right? Do you understand the conversion rate when you have a sale, right? Do you understand all those different numbers that it takes to get your business to run? What is the overhead that it costs to get the business to run? What are the expenses? What are the profits? What are the losses, right? How much are you paying yourself, whether you're doing it bi-monthly or you're doing it monthly, whatever it is, right? So those are some of the basic things you really need to understand as a business owner, right? Is understanding like a marketing budget, how much it is, how much it's taking to run the business. If you guys have subcontractors that you guys are hiring out, all those little things, profit and losses, right? And a lot of those things could be taken care of by having a good CPA. And another
Mhm.
way that it could be taken care of is if you're running Facebook ads in the Facebook ads manager, business manager, they have all those numbers on there that you can learn, what does it cost to, acquire a lead? How much are we spending on this campaign? Like what is the monthly budget, all that type of stuff. But it's really important to start understanding like some of those numbers and digging into it and just knowing where the money's going and just future predictions, because that's going to help you understand how much more do you need to put inside the machine, right? If you're spending like, let's just say, for example, $2 on, advertisement and you're making three. Okay. So how much more do you need to put in the machine to keep making $4 or $5, right? So it's just basic little things like that on really how to run a business going forward with knowing your guys' numbers and those basic things.
Yeah, no, it's very important. And honestly, I mean, knowing your numbers, and we made that huge mistake when we first started, right? Where it's like we didn't really pay attention to our numbers. We didn't hire a bookkeeper. We tried to do it on our own, and it was messy. And we ended up paying the price once we had to sit there and pay taxes. It was a lot
Yeah.
of money, but I mean, whatever. You live and learn. You just roll with it. But I also want to give the listeners an action step for each one of these 6 ways. So let's give them an action step with your thoughts on just like really quick how they can sit there and do business inversion and predictable income to know their
Yeah.
numbers.
So, I mean, business inversion, that's a really good exercise. We did that a lot with our VIP students, whether we were doing it in person or we were doing it virtually. Because I think it's so important for them to understand, where the money's coming from and breaking it down. Because let's just say, for example, you do business inversion for somebody that wants to make 100K, right? So basically 6 figures. So what you do is you kind of reverse engineer that. So if I imagine this is right, my numbers and my math, right? I wasn't the best at math, but the way you do this is, for example, is let's say you want to make 100K. Okay, so then you divide the 100K by 12, and I think that comes out to like 8,300 or something like that. And then you take that 8,300 and you divide that by 52, because there's 52 weeks, right? So now you know how much you need to make every month. Now you understand how you have to make every single week, and I think you take that number that you get from dividing that 8,300 from 52, you divide that number by, I think it's 7, right? Because there's 7 days in the week. And now you know how much you have to make per day. And you divide that number by 8, because we quote unquote work an 8-hour day. So now you know exactly how much you're going to have to make per hour, right? So it's cool how much you make per hour, per day, per week, per month, and then per year. So that's called business inversion and reverse engineering it. The next thing that's a good exercise is called predictable income. So basically, now that you know those numbers, okay, what are the revenue streams that you have coming in? What are all the offers in your guys' coaching business that you guys have that are making you money? What are the outside revenue streams coming in, right? If you're running the hybrid models, in person, online, those offers, those revenue streams, and you just start kind of putting those hoses in the pool of how much you're trying to make every single month, and it's predictable. You kind of understand how much you need to make and what offers you need to sit there and double down on, which ones you need to scale back a little bit to meet those monthly like quotas or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, no, I love it. And then
Yeah.
that's definitely, that's what we always take our students through, those exercises, because it's important to know your numbers and know how many, people you need per month to get into your system, how much you need to make. And it all just makes sense. It simplifies things so much when you know your numbers and you're doing the predictable income and business inversion. So guys, if you guys want to go look that up, just Google business inversion and predictable income. You guys will be able to find some cool resources on that.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing that you should be doing as a business owner is generating leads and creating a CRM system. And I can't emphasize this enough. You're probably thinking, if you don't know what CRM stands for, it's just Customer Relation Management System. Huge, huge fancy words for keeping track of your leads and all that good stuff. So that's one thing I just don't see a lot of fitness professionals paying attention to, right? And it's like that's like the lifeline of your business, right? Is your leads, your customers, whether it's their past, their current, referrals, all that stuff, right? It's all the traffic that you're doing. So you have to really be on top of like all the different, traffic sources that you are running to generate leads into your business, so you have a constant cash flow. So the first thing is, right, you could sit there and go with, paid, right? Paid traffic, right? Where you sit there, pay for ads, whether it's Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, what's called YouTube ads,
Good.
whatever you want, right? Then you have borrowed traffic, right? So, are you generating leads from like, other people, like joint ventures, collaborations, things like that? And then the next one is your organic leads, right? Your organic traffic. Like, what are you doing organically to drive these leads into your ecosystem and sit there and getting them as paid customers? So it's very important that you guys are on top of that and know this every single week. What are you doing in each section? And not everyone's going to be doing paid traffic, and that's fine. You don't have to do that right away. Just go with what you feel comfortable, what kind of budget you have, but you have to understand like all these things, like where is this coming from, and most importantly, the CRM system, right? And it doesn't take a lot to create a good, solid CRM system. Just use Google Docs or a Google Sheet, right? And just create that on a spreadsheet. The person's name, their first name, last name, their email. If they give you a phone number, great, right? Then what's their Instagram handle? What's their Facebook handle? And then when did they last contact you? How did they hear from you? When did you last contact them? Did you send them a piece of value to keep them warm? It's very crucial to keep all this data in that CRM system, because again, you want to sit there and generate leads all the time. And then this is something we teach our fit pros in our program, right? Become marketers first and coaches second.
Yep. And I would say too, like, basically what you're trying to do with those three sources of traffic, the paid, the borrowed, and the create, is you're trying to eventually own that traffic,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you're trying to push all that traffic into like an email list or an SMS, which is a text messaging list, because then you own that traffic. It's not rented by Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or anything like that, right? So that's the goal, is, you're trying to get all those traffic sources into just like owning it. Right? If you kind of look at that as like a freeway, you have three different freeways, but you guys are all trying to go into like one, like, I don't know, one destination. That's like the own the traffic or something like that. I don't know. It's hard to kind of explain it like that, like over this, but if I had a
Yeah,
white,
I know you're going with this. Yeah,
yeah, but that's good though. That's 100% true, man, because not enough people know where their traffic's coming from,
exactly.
and of course you're not going to start off with all those different traffic sources, but eventually that's the goal, is where you want to get to that point, because it just means more eyeballs on your brand, and it means more volume of leads going to your offers.
Yeah, and let's say like you're generating a lot of traffic from, one different source. Like let's say a lot of your leads are coming from like Instagram or, YouTube. That's important to know, because then it's like, then you go back to the drawing board, you're like, damn, like something's working, I'm doing on that platform. So let me double down on that, right? So just it's little things like that, that you should not avoid. You should not avoid, understanding, where the leads are coming from, and, more importantly, keeping track of this on a CRM system. So some quick action steps for this, guys, is understand where all your leads are coming from. Keep track of that. It's not that hard to create a simple CRM system. If you guys want a copy of our CRM system that we deliver to our coaches and clients, literally shoot us a DM on Instagram at Chris and Eric Martinez and just say CRM system or CRM doc. We'll hook you guys up. But other than that, there's fancy platforms you guys can do online that you guys can pay for. Whatever you want, whatever floats your boat, do your thing. But then also too, think outside the box, with like generating leads as well too. Think about, ads on like, the Waze app, on Pandora, Snapchat, boutiques, podcasts, YouTube ads. I mean, podcast ads. There's so many different ways to sit there and generate leads. Don't just sit there and just be like, oh, I got to get my leads through, social media and stuff. Something for us that we're trying right now is we want to do paid advertisement on people's podcasts, right? So we want to do commercial ads on people's podcasts, because we want to generate more traffic that way. So we're always testing out different avenues when it comes to lead generation and generating more traffic. And it's one of those things where there's no rules to the game. So understand that think outside the box, do something that, sounds bizarre. And again, keep track of all the data and then go back to the drawing board and be a mad scientist.
Yep. That you couldn't said it better, man. There is no rules to this game.
No.
It's really whoever has the most creativity, whoever sits there and, unfortunately spends the most and takes that risk is the one's going to get rewarded. So you have to think like that with your mindset. You really do. Okay. And then by the way, if Eric said a DM, for that CRM thing, he's going to ask you guys to PayPal him after. So just watch out there. I'm just
Not
kidding.
true. Not
I'm
true,
just kidding,
guys.
guys.
I wouldn't do that.
All right, let's move on to the third thing that you guys need to do in your business that you're avoiding, and that's basically asking for referrals. So
Mhm.
I don't know, man. Like, why do you think people are so scared to ask for referrals?
I think it just comes back to just getting turned down. And, if someone doesn't respond, more importantly, they feel like that person's ignoring it or they're ghosting them. And it just goes back to the EQ, right? The EQ of being an entrepreneur and business owner, to where it's like you haven't built up that emotional resiliency and mental toughness to understand that some people might miss that, or, some people might, not like that. But I guarantee you probably 75% of the people will refer your services if you're A, delivering results, B, you have integrity, and C, you are, sitting there creating great customer service to that person.
Those are some good reasons, like, why I think as well people don't ask for referrals. And it's funny because like we were just doing a student call this morning, I remember, and I didn't even ask. She just said, like, hey, I'm looking for more fit pros, to introduce you guys to because I love what you guys are doing. You guys are helping me so much. And I was like, absolutely, thank you so much, and I wasn't afraid. Oh, no, 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 or like anything like that. I told her straight up, I was like, thank you. Like, I'm so certain, I'm so confident, my belief is so high in what we're doing here with our Dynamic Fit Pro program and helping fitness professionals that absolutely, please, refer more people. And I would love to incentivize you for those referrals. So
Yeah.
that's how it has to be. Can't look at it as, it's something like that you shame yourself for asking, you're afraid, or you should feel bad or anything like that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, like in this tip, you have to ask your past clients, you have to ask your current clients, and you have to even ask your future clients. So some of your leads, and the way you do that is you ask them indirectly, because they're not your clients yet, but you indirectly ask them like, hey, like, I was wondering, do you know anybody in your community in, like a gym goer or your coworker or family friend that would be interested in XYZ? You tell them like, like your method, your system, your pain points that you solve, all that stuff. So you have to do that type of stuff. You really do, because referrals are literally a huge, huge part of like your lead acquisition, system. It really is. And it's one of the best ways because you're not paying for, advertising or paid traffic. You're just simply asking. And the way to do it is there's two ways. You ask them as soon as you sign them up, for referrals, or you send them, or you ask them when they're on a high, when they get like a result or something like that. That's when you ask them. Those two ways. So I don't know. I mean, we could sit here and literally do a podcast on referral tactics. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I literally just updated our whole entire ultimate referral system tactic, which has 10 different tactics on there for our Fit Pro students in the members portal. Right. But I can't sit here and do that whole thing on this like podcast. It's going to just make for maybe a whole other like episode on referrals, but what do you want to give as far as like a tactical tip or something like this on referrals?
Yeah, I mean, I think just, honestly, like make it very easy, on yourself, when you're doing this. And again, don't be afraid to ask. Like just, that's one barrier that we need to cross, is just understand that, some people might, not get back to you. Some people might not want to just, do the whole referral thing, which is weird to me if you really think about it. Like I said earlier, if you're really serving them and giving them results, like why wouldn't they want to refer you? But once you're past that, just make it very easy for the person you're asking, right? Like maybe even create a script for them, like an email or a text message that is very easy for them to sit there and not have to think too much about. And then they can just shoot that out to people that, they might want to refer for your services. So I think that's a good, way to do that. And then, yeah, I mean,
I got one right here. So
yeah.
one good tactic is like to implement this referral system, as a system every single like month, or I would even say 2 times a month, every other week, into like your rotation of like your lead generation strategy, right?
Mhm.
And just literally make it a staple that, hey, this is the week where I'm asking referrals, right? So this way, it's a rotation every single month or 2 times a month, and you're getting into the subconscious of those clients and even like your followers and your past clients of like asking normally, and they know that they'll anticipate it, or maybe they'll think of someone and that'll pop up and spark it. And then also incentivize them, right? If you want to do a cash giveaway, electronic giveaway, if you want to sit there and give them a meaningful gift, which will probably go a longer way, right? So think about all that stuff, but don't be afraid, because you're missing so much money and opportunity on referrals, and it's really one of the fastest ways that we get our fit pros when they come into our program and they need to generate leads. We dig really deep on, ask them questions about what they have in their Rolodex. And that's one of the fastest ways we get them to start making an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month, is just by asking for referrals and giving them scripts and tactics.
Yeah, and talk about if you want to save money on, marketing and advertising. That's pretty much free marketing right there. So,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a really good one on referrals that you should be doing. I hear too many people saying they're not doing that enough, and whew, if that might be just the biggest takeaway you guys can get from this episode is just make sure
for
you guys
sure.
are asking referrals. Yeah. So let's get into the fourth one, on what you should be doing as, a business owner. And this one's good too. I like this one too, because we're a true testament for making a mistake on this when we first started off with our business. And it's really comes down to that you guys should be stabilizing and optimizing your core offers in your guys' business and asking for testimonials, AKA social proof. So to take you guys back, when we started our business, DDT, Dynamic Duo Training, online coaching, this was 10 years ago, right? So we got into that whole thing where we just kind of, we stabilized our offers, we optimized them. They were working, but we always wanted to expand so damn fast, right? We're just very impatient. We're like, on to the next project. What's the next layer we can add to this business? And it kind of bit us in the ass. It did, because, we ended up spending a lot of money. There was no proof of concept on certain things like courses, programs that we put out. And you got to have that. You have to really test that out and see if there is an audience for that. And more importantly, if you have, the proof of the concept within social proof, testimonials that it does work, and then put it out there to the market to sell. So my biggest thing for this one is, for fitness professionals out there, make sure you guys have, two core offers, whether it's like a high ticket program, and then like a monthly continuity program for a downsell, and then stabilize and optimize that. And that's it. Like, utilize that for 6 months, hardcore, get as many people into that as possible, sell them into that, get them great results. And more importantly, get the social proof, video testimonials, screenshots, everything you need to put like on landing pages, social media, websites. But you have to be able to prove that that concept works with your high ticket coaching and continuity program first, before you want to sit there and go expand your business and keep adding layers to it.
Yeah. And then like with the whole social proof, I don't know. It's another weird thing with referrals with some people, to where they're afraid to ask for like testimonials, whether they're videos, whether they're before and afters, whatever it is. Right. I don't get it. That is like a showcase in a gallery of the work that you've done, the transformation, right? That
Yeah.
you've given this person, you've served them so well, and the way you got to frame it to these clients of yours is just basically like, hey, like Judy, like you've gotten such amazing results and we've worked so great together as a team, like, would you mind if you did a 1-minute testimonial video and I asked you questions, or would you mind if I shared your picture on social media to educate, inspire, and motivate more people? I would love to help people out with what I'm doing. I mean, look at the results you get. Look at how you feel right now. Look at the transformation you make. Look how much more confidence you have. Look how much more energy you have. Look how much it's like rippling into like your relationship with like your husband. Like, could you imagine? I get fired up like just talking about this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you have to be like that and fire them up too, and understand that like you are creating a ripple effect through their social proof. And if you guys want ideas, I guess this could be like maybe like a tactical tip is go to Dynamic Duo Training. And then we have a tab there that says member stories. And we used to do like blog articles on this, with the video component, before and after pictures, the whole entire, copy, and then a call to action to our coaching services. So model that, you guys can probably do it better now, and then go to like Instagram. We used to have a New Era of Fitness, type in New Era of Fitness on there and just look at the gallery that we made with just nothing but before and after pictures on there in content, right? So we rotated it like that intentionally, and just get some ideas like that. There's nothing better than before and after pictures like on social media. It is the most powerful thing that you can put out there, marketing wise, lead generation wise.
Yeah, no, well said. And then another action step you could do too is like mini Zoom interviews, right? Just, bring your client on for 10 minutes, ask a couple questions, like how you help them out. And that's it right there. They give a 10-minute, video of a testimonial, breakthrough, social proof, all that great stuff. And we've been doing this a lot with a lot of our fit pros, and it works really well. So again, just make sure you guys are, stabilizing and optimizing those core offers. Don't go too crazy to expand the business. Make sure that all that stuff works and there's a proven concept, then add layers to it. And then make sure you guys are getting testimonials.
Yep. Yep. All right, let's move on to number 5. So this one is build a team around you. Okay. I always
An
remember
A team.
an A team. You could say that, an A team. I always remember this quote from our first mentor, Todd Durkin. He said, "The bigger your dream, the bigger your team." I
Mm.
was like, okay.
I remember him saying that now.
Never understood that because I was like, right here, basically, we're stuck on an island. We didn't know shit. But now I'm like, okay, like 10 years later, I definitely understand that. The bigger your dream, the bigger your team, because you can't wear all the hats, because you'll get stuck in that hamster wheel of working in the business instead of working on the business.
Yep.
And it goes back to what I said at the beginning of this, to where you start wearing all those hats, you start working in the business too much, you're working on low income, low impact activities instead of high income, high impact activities, right? So these days, you don't have to hire somebody like a full-time salary type of thing to where, you have to come up with a salary like that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to think like that. You can hire subcontractors, you can hire freelancers, you can hire virtual assistants, outside in different countries, that would be glad to do the work that you have, for them set out. And they do it at such a high level too, so you just have to get resourceful. You need to start maybe looking on Upwork.com. What else am I missing? What else can they?
Fiverr.
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 Yeah, Fiverr. You can do that with like graphic design, videos, stuff like that.
There's crowd design. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of them. There's a lot
Yeah,
of
there's a
things.
lot of different things. You can even like just Google like, virtual assistants. I think there's one called Fancy Hands. There's so many different ones on there, that you guys can submit like projects, video editing, graphic design. You should probably have a CPA, to be honest, because that's a big investment for your business. Like, again, going back to knowing your numbers, eventually you're going to have to hire like somebody to do your marketing, right? Running your paid advertisement, unless you learn it. But again, that's a whole nother skill to sit there and learn. Maybe eventually you don't want to do like the phone calls, like with sales and stuff, something that we're not going to eventually be doing in the next like year. We're going to hire like an agency or a couple sales reps, because I don't want to keep doing that. I want to work on bigger things in the business that's going to move the needle forward. Right. So you have to start thinking about those type of things, not hire everything right now if you're just getting started or barely breaking 6 figures, but just think long-term. What kind of like pieces to the puzzle do you need to add to in order to grow your business with a team?
Yeah. And it's just freeing up more time. And I'll give another quick example. So we had a strategy call with one of our Fit Pro students the other day, Juan Salgado, right? Guy's doing amazing, clearing 6 figures in his business. But what was the biggest thing he said, right? That he needs to free up at least 3 hours a day to continue to work on his business and grow his business. And again, we came up with a simple solution. Juan, hire help, hire virtual assistants to take care of these tedious tasks. Like you said, the low budget, what was it in the beginning?
The low income, low impact.
Exactly. And that was it. That was a big breakthrough with the strategy session for him. Was it, okay, now we're introducing him to our VAs, and they're going to be taking care of all these little tasks that, again, it's just, they're not like pointless stuff, but it's stuff he shouldn't be doing. He could be doing way more things to generate, more leads, like making this, this machine, run efficiently and continue to build the business going forward and serve his clients.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So quick little action step for that, guys, on, hiring the dream team, the A team. Literally, be patient, hire some VAs. It's going to take, a while to figure out those unicorns. It really is. And we've gone through like tons of them where we've, got some good ones and some crappy ones, and it's part of the game, so just, keep your eyes out, hire interns, do a performance-based type of thing, if you don't want to pay people right away. And again, there's a lot of people out there willing to do a lot of stuff to help you, especially if you have like a good vision and good core values that they want to be a part of. Yep. All right. So the last one, the 6th thing that you guys should be doing as business owners in your business is stop wasting time on useless shit. And this one, we put this at the end because I feel like we're going to go on a tangent on this one. I really do. And I'm gonna list off a couple of things, Chris, and then whatever you want to elaborate on, just chime in as you do, because I know a couple. I think this first one's gonna fire you up. So, first one I would say is stop chasing certifications, like plain and simple. Like, guys, I get it with the certifications thing. I get it. It's like it's a painted perception. It's what we were taught by the outdated school system, to where we have to feel validated through, having a certification and having acronyms next to our names and signatures that solidifies us to be quote unquote worthy enough to, coach people and stuff. But again, hopefully you guys understand I'm being sarcastic with that. But stop chasing certifications when it comes to, like, personal training shit. The only one that I really advocate is, nutrition. If you're really going to go there and prescribe nutrition stuff, go handle your business with that. But everything else, I literally, like, you can be learning different skill sets within, your arsenal and toolbox. So anything you want to add to that?
I'm not going to go on a whole tangent on that, man.
That's
Like,
fine.
you hit home pretty good on that. I just, with the whole certifications thing, that you guys should be spending most of your time on marketing skills, sales skills, copywriting, building your network, building your dream 100 list of like who you can actually eventually collaborate with and all that type of stuff. Trust me, like, you guys are already competent enough and skilled enough as trainers. And that doesn't mean stop getting more skilled. Like, you guys can still do that, but you don't need a certification to do that. You really don't, because at the end of the day, the client is not going to care that you got this special certification, unless you know how to storytell, brand it, or market it a specific way on social media.
Yeah, exactly. So the next one you should stop wasting your time on is the imposter syndrome thing. Okay, I get it. We all have the imposter syndrome. That is never going to go away. Like, if as soon as you buy into being an entrepreneur, a coach, you're always going to have that imposter syndrome. Some people have it to, a deeper level, and that's fine. It's going to be a daily battle that you battle all throughout this whole journey. So understand that the imposter syndrome is there to stay, and that's okay. It's part of being an entrepreneur. So just get used to that. Keep building up the EQ, keep building up the reps and sets with all your stuff, like your talents, your gifts, everything you have to bring to the table. And that's all you can really do. The next thing is the whole perfection excuse, right? Where, again, you're a perfectionist, and you're indecisive, and all that stuff, right? It's a bullshit excuse. It's just stop wasting your time on that. The whole thing is that you're using that as an excuse to not take action, and you don't want to be criticized. You're worried about people just criticizing your work or saying you're an imposter. Back to what I said. So again, get over that whole thing about the whole perfection thing and being indecisive.
Yeah. And with that, it's just like, it's called imperfect action.
Yeah.
Take imperfect action and stop worrying about your A+ work and put out your B+ work, because there is no such thing as A+ work. Nobody cares about the A+ work. They just care about you putting out your B+ work to seeing if it's going to help them.
Yeah, exactly. So the last little thing I want to add on this part, when you're wasting your time, is stop pretending that you are busy. And there's a lot of people that do this, right? Where, again, you're pretending like you're busy, but you're really not even doing things that are important, right? So you're not even moving the needle forward in your business. So again, go back to the things that matter most. All the things that we listed from top to bottom in this episode, when it comes to lead generation, marketing, your CRM system, your offers, asking for referrals, stabilizing and optimizing those core offers, building an A team. Those are all things that are super, super important that you guys should be focusing on. Stop wasting your time scrolling on bullshit social media, commenting on stuff, going on YouTube, right? Unless you're educating yourself, getting ideas to put out content your way, then cool. But honestly, there's so many distractions out there to where I could do a whole podcast episode on this, right? But you guys know what I'm talking about. You know what you're doing, that you're wasting time and you're pretending like you're being busy, but you're really not.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. Nothing else I got to really add to that.
Okay. So you want to end on that?
Let's end it on that, man. I think those 6, I think the pitfalls are good. I think the 6 things that they need to be focusing on are just 100% real and straight up, and
My microphone wasn't sizzling.
it kind of was a little bit, like, I'm not going to lie. You could have put a little bit you could have put a little agüita on there, water.
Oh gosh. That was funny.
This is good. I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
I think super tactical. I think it's 100% real. We're here to give you guys the real shit, kind of put it bluntly like that,
And again, avoid the mistakes that we made early on, because we made so
Exactly.
many mistakes. And that's what we do now, is we help our fitness professional students bypass all these mistakes and expedite all this stuff, because unfortunately we had to go through it, right? But
Yeah.
it's fine. It's
But it's
fine.
okay. It
Yeah,
made us better entrepreneurs, and it
exactly.
made us leaders right now to be able to have this platform with the Dynamic Lifestyle Podcast. And thanks so much, you guys, for listening and supporting us. But you guys get the benefits of this because you guys don't have to go through that, and you guys can accelerate the learning curve faster, and you guys can build your business faster than we did. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess I'll just end with like literally like there might be just one of those things that you guys took from this whole entire conversation that might just be that light bulb and you're like, damn, Chris and Eric, like, yeah, I need to start focusing on that more. And that could be the one thing that just literally changes the game in your business. And that's the best part about this. So really take this into action. Consider all the things that we said that you guys should be doing in your business. And I promise you, if you guys are doing all these little things in your business, you guys will be successful. And again, just it's a rinse and repeat factor. It doesn't just happen just one day, 1 week. Again, play the long game with it. It's an infinite game, not a finite game. And just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process of being an entrepreneur, a business owner, a fitness coach. Show up every single day and fucking take action and serve all your damn clients out there.
All right, now the mic's on fire. Let's go.
It's my horrible sound effect of like flames. All right, Chris. Well, good talking to you, man. Thank you so much for, all your wisdom, all this good stuff that you brought onto this episode. And once again, guys, shoot us any questions, comments, concerns, share this episode with somebody that would find it valuable. And most importantly, go out there, live a badass dynamic lifestyle and take action.
Peace.
All right. Till next time.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video and another episode on pro tips on living a dynamic lifestyle. We truly appreciate it. Hopefully you got a lot of value out of it. If you're interested in getting more value like this from these pro tips, make sure to subscribe above. We're going to be dropping these daily. Also, if you are a fitness professional and you're looking to create more income, impact, influence, and independence, we just dropped our new book, Rise of the Fit Pros, so you guys can do all of that. And you can also start building your hybrid training model of in-person and online training. So make sure to click the link or the book right here to grab your guys' copy, and we'll send it over to you. Other than that, we're out. Talk to you soon.